When we pour oil and water into a glass, the oil floats to the top of the water. Why? To answer this question, we need to define density. We'll then go on to explore the link between density and relative density. Let's start by defining the density of a chemical. The density of a chemical corresponds to the ratio of the mass, m, of a sample of this chemical, divided by the volume, v, of this same sample. Density is referred to as ρ. We therefore have ρ is equal to m divided by v, with the density ρ of the chemical in kilogram per cubic meter, the mass m of the sample in kilograms, and the volume v of the sample in cubic meters. Let's take the example of a substance with a mass m equals 4 kilograms and a volume v equals 0.5 cubic meters. Its density ρ is therefore equal to 4 divided by 0.5, which equates to 8 kilograms per cubic meter. The density of pure water at 4 degrees Celsius and at atmospheric pressure is equal to 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. For the purpose of simplification, we use this value in normal conditions of temperature and pressure. Let's now take a look at relative density. The relative density of a chemical is the ratio of its density divided by the density of water. Relative density is referred to as d. We therefore have d is equal to ρ divided by the ρ of water, with the relative density d of the chemical expressed without a unit. The density ρ of the chemical and the density of water ρ water expressed in kilograms per cubic meter. The relative density of water is therefore equal to 1. Relative density therefore enables the density of a chemical to be compared with the density of water, and to consequently know whether a chemical floats or sinks in water. The chemicals which sink in water have a relative density which exceeds 1. This is the case of dichloromethane, for example, whose relative density is equal to 1.33. We say that dichloromethane is denser than water. The chemicals which float in water have a relative density which is less than 1. This is the case of oil, for example, whose relative density is equal to 0.9. We say that oil is less dense than water. Some examples of density values. Mercury has a relative density of 13.56. Oil has a relative density of 0.9. Ethanol has a relative density of 0.79. Let's go over the key notions. Density, noted as ρ, is equal to the mass of a sample divided by its volume. The density of water is equal to 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. Relative density, noted as d, is equal to the density of a chemical divided by the density of water. It enables us to know whether a chemical floats or sinks in water.